Want to unlock true power and consistency in your golf swing? It all comes down to one thing that is most commonly overlooked, and that is rotational strength and control. Stick with me as we break down 3 proven techniques that we use here at Par for Success to improve rotational movement, build stability, and ultimately transform your swing from an inconsistent one to rock solid. Hey, I'm Chris, the founder and CEO here at Par for Success, where we help golfers move better, feel better, and ultimately play the best golf of their life. When it comes to consistent, powerful swings, there's nothing more important than rotational control. Rotation drives everything in the golf swing, from the backswing to impact and even the follow-through. But it all starts with proper movement and a solid foundation. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the 3 top advanced rotational techniques that I use here with my players at Par for Success, from the PGA Tour all the way down to junior golf and all the way through to seniors, to talk about how to stay grounded and also maximize swing efficiency. Let's take a look at these drills, and I'm going to talk through how to refine these movements to enhance your balance and stability every step of the way. First up, stability during rotation. You being able to actually rotate depends on the stability that's underneath it. So we're going to start with this first drill, which is the split stance torso turn. So we're going to start off by taking a staggered stance, so one foot in front of the other. If you really want to go to the professional level here, you can actually put your feet all in a straight line staggered. So almost like you're standing on a balance beam. But for those humans or mere mortals that are watching, like myself, I'm going to start with my feet separated out. Now, when you're staggered, now what you're going to do is you're going to bend at the hips so you get down into a golf position. And then we're going to, if you'd like, extend your arms, or you can go to your shoulders. It's totally up to you. And we're going to rotate your torso slowly to either side, trying to keep your lower body steady. And we're going to focus on controlled movement without wobbling. Now, as you progress, continuing to narrow your stance where your right foot or your lead foot and your trail foot are almost like on a balance beam, you'll feel will make this exercise exponentially harder. Now, we want to obviously do this with our right foot in front. I would say do it for 5 to 10 times, rotations, each side. And then I would switch so that you go left foot in front, right foot behind. Making sure that we have balance on both sides of the rotation with different lead and trail feet is incredibly important so that we are balanced when we go out to the golf course and that we're able to balance with rotation both directions. The second technique that I use with every single one of my golfers who are struggling with sequencing is all about getting the hips to move without the upper body. So the simple way to figure out if you're going to need this drill is you get into golf posture, cross your arms over your shoulders. And what you're trying to do is rotate your hips without your shoulders moving with you, right? A lot of people will struggle where everything kind of moves as one. Maybe you can move one way, but the other way everything moves. We're looking for clean movement of just the hips and not the shoulders. Now, if you're struggling with this, the exercise we're going to do is going to be very simple. Everyone can do this, assuming you live in a home, you have a door frame. So we're going to head over to our door frame, and I'm going to show you exactly how to go through this drill. All right, so I am in my door frame here. So you're going to go into your door frame, and all you're going to do is you're going to put the forearms, so the flush part of your forearm, on either, kind of on the inside of the door frame. You're going to push, like you're trying to push it away from you. That's going to lock in your upper body. Now you're going to kind of hinge a little bit, so a little bit into golf posture. And then because we're locking our arms in, we're going to be able to move our hips in a rotational fashion, almost like we're rotating a tabletop without the upper body coming with us because it's locked in. What we want to do is do this about 10 times to each side. So if you're counting, it'd be 1, 1, 2, 2, okay? And go up 10 each side. And just keep practicing this and then use less and less push into the wall is basically going to make it harder and harder for you until you can take your arms completely out of the wall and you can do it without your shoulders moving. So now we're to the third key exercise that I use with all of my players that when we want to truly optimize their sequencing. And in the last exercise, obviously we were trying to get the hips moving without the shoulders. This exercise is the just complete opposite of that. Now we're going to get in that position. We're going to try to keep our hips stable and we're going to rotate the shoulders. And what we'll tend to see a lot of times is that, again, everything moves together. Now, more people will be successful with this than moving the hips on their own, but the average person struggles honestly with both. So the drill we're going to do here is going to be dropping down to our knees and locking the hips in place so that we can get the feel of what it feels like for those shoulders to move, and then standing back up, and then we'll actually be able to put it all together. Now, the reason why this is important is because of what's called X factor stretch. Now, when we look at optimizing clubhead speed, we have our core 4, which we're trying to get weight shift going to the lead side, hips initiating, which is the last drill. Well, the other part of that is that that upper body actually needs to not move while the hips are moving and opening towards the target. So while we don't often think about it, it's not just a natural thing to think about. It's essentially, while your hips are moving this way, you can also think about it where your shoulders are actually having to move the other way. So it's training your body and your brain to develop the skill of your upper body and your lower body actually moving in different directions to create a rubber band stretch that just explodes and creates as much speed as possible, as safely as possible. So let's get down to the ground. I'm gonna show you how to do this drill. It's awesome. All right, so you've struggled getting the shoulders to move without the hips. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna lock our hips in by getting down on our knees. The wider you bring your knees out, the more locked in the hips will be. We're gonna go from kind of kneeling straight up. We're gonna hinge a little bit, almost in golf posture, crossing our arms. Or then at this point, the hips will be locked, and we're going to rotate the shoulders like we're coming down through impact if I'm a right-handed player, right? Or down through impact if I'm a left-handed player. We're rotating back and forth. We're gonna do, think of the count, 1, 1, 2, 2. We're gonna do 10 each side and just start to get the feel of what it feels like for your upper body to move without those hips. As you start to feel like you get the hang of it, start to bring your knees in closer and closer. That will unlock the hips a little bit and make this a little bit harder. And then eventually stand up and retry it again. And once you can, in standing, move the hips and the shoulders separately, you know you've absolutely knocked this out, and we can actually start to work on seeing it in your golf swing. All right, so quick recap. We've gone through 3 powerful techniques today that I use with my tour players, with my senior players, and even with my juniors when you are struggling with sequencing in your golf swing. The first one is all about stability and being able to rotate on top of basically a challenging stability environment. So that's a great exercise if you're struggling with balance. The last 2 are all about getting your hips and your shoulders to move independently of each other to optimize X factor stretch, get as much rubber band effect in your golf swing as humanly possible. That's how the skinny guys, this is the secret, that's how the skinny guys swing so dang fast, right? That's how, relative to somebody who's really, really big, who maybe uses strength. If we can use strength and have the elasticity, these drills are ways to optimize that. So at the end of all of that, we should be able to stand in a golf posture, move our hips without our shoulders moving, rotate our shoulders without our hips moving. When you can do that, you have checked this box, and we can move on to the next drill. Until then, these are the key 3 exercises to make sure that you are able to rotate lower body separate from upper body and able to do it with a stable base. So hopefully this all makes sense. And even if you're not able to do it yet, at least now you have the roadmap of what you need to do in order to accomplish that. Now, if you're looking to take your game farther, check out this other video that we did where we tell you how to drive it farther by generating power from the ground up. It's an amazing video. It's going to give you tons of value. Go check it out. As always, thanks for hanging out, and hit the ball as far as you can, and let's do it without pain.